Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Vendread Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for post Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge. This is the ritual zombie deck that we've had for quite some time in the link format for Yu-Gi-Oh. The whole point of the deck being to summon out your main monster, Vendread Slayer, your zombie ritual monster, and also we received a new link monster for the deck in the Heroes Revenge booster pack. A very awesome link monster that counts as Vendread Slayer on the field, so definite powerhouse for the deck for sure. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for your main monsters, I run 3 Vendread Slayer. With this one, you can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell, and once per battle, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation quick effect, you can banish 1 zombie monster from your graveyard. This card gains 300 attack, and if this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and if you do send 1 Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard, you can use this effect of Slayer once per turn. But what's also good with Slayer is that it'll gain additional effects if you use other Vendread monsters to summon it out, so you want to run a good amount of the effect monsters to assist with just the additional power you can add to Slayer with its own effect. You run 3 though, I'd say it's the main ritual to go for in the deck especially. I run 1 Vendread Executor. Now I was debating, there were 2 Vendread rituals aside from Slayer for the deck. I decided to go with Executor for the one of to run with the deck. It is the level 8 ritual monster. You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell, and this card's name becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field. While this ritual summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects except this card, and if this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in the owner's monster zone, you can add 1 Vendread card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Vendread Executor once per turn. So more of a protection card, I'd say, but still a true powerhouse, being 3,000 attack and just an easy ritual to summon out with all the material we have to use in the deck. But like I said, I went back and forth, but decided to go with Executor. If you wanted to try, I believe its name is Ogre, the other ritual option, you can give that a shot and see just which one is more consistent for you in the deck. Obviously, Executor isn't searchable with some of the other cards we run on the deck, like Preparation of Rites and Pre-Preparation of Rites, since it's a level 8 monster, obviously, but you still have other search options available for you with this card. And then for some of the other Vendread monsters, I run 3 Vendread Revenants. With this one, if this card is in your possession, is destroyed by opponent's card, battle, or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it while it leaves the field. And a Vendread monster ritual summon with this card gains the effect. You can only activate the preceding effects of Vendread Revenants once per turn. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls and banish it. So giving power to your Vendread rituals is a big key help with this card for sure. Just giving you those options. Plus, it's also a level 4, meaning you have a good amount of your ritual summon taken care of with this card on the field also. So definite 3 of, so you just have those special summon and also those options just for this card to then come back on the field and give your ritual monsters you use with this card that banish effect, adding on to their effects they already have as well. And I also run 3 Vendread Hound Horde, the level 3 monster. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard 1 Vendread card to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. A Vendread monster ritual summon using this card on the field gains the following effects, and you can use each of the preceding effects of Vendread Hound Horde once per turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls and banish it. So if you use Revenants and Hound Horde, you're making for a pretty strong Vendread Slayer on the field, having the banished effects for both the monsters and also just the spell and traps your opponent controls, and being able to take care of all of those cards. Just stacking those effects and using them for your Vendread monsters is quite a powerful play for sure. And I also run 2 Vendread Sturge, or the string. It's basically I would say the leading cause for the zombie virus. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can reveal 1 Vendread card in your hand, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So an easier special summon, you don't have to discard a card obviously, but stuff like Hound Horde still benefits by setting up some other zombies in your graveyard off of that effect. And when you use this card for the ritual summon, the ritual monster Vendread gains the effect after for damage calc. If this card battled an opponent's monster, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. So you have more draw power. It's only a 2 of, though. It's not as beneficial, I would say, as Revenants or Hound Horde for the deck. Being able to take care of cards on your opponent's field. Sturges, I think it's honestly Sturges, gives you the discard draw power just so you can go through the deck a little quickly and maybe grab some other cards you need for your plays, but that's why I'm only keeping it at a 2 of in the deck. And then for some more generic zombie support, I run 3 Mizuki for the discard draw and just some other setup in the graveyard. It's an easy banish to target 1 zombie in your graveyard and special summon it, giving you more resources. So I'd say a definite 3 of just for that easy setup in your graveyard you can do with all the different zombie cards you run in the deck. And then, like I said, just an easy special summon when you need more resources, especially for ritual summoning your Vendread monsters out to the field. And I run the 1 Gozuki, just more setup during the main phase. You can send 1 zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can set up cards like Hound Horde, you name it, for their special summons, or even, Stridges for that. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 zombie monster from your graveyard, except Gozuki, to special summon 1 zombie from your hand. You can only use the effect of Gozuki once per turn. It gives you more power play options, especially just for more setup on the field. I only run the 1 of those since the Slayer still has to be ritual summoned, obviously, so you can't just special summon this with Gozuki. But I still like having more graveyard plays, especially being able to set up Mizuki in the graveyard with Gozuki for your plays. And to finish off the monsters, I run 2 Unizombie. This tuner just gives you more options for your setup and level adjustment, especially for your cards. So being able to adjust your levels definitely does come in handy, especially when you're going for your bigger Vendread Executor, for sure. With the deck, I only run the 2 of, though. That's what I found to be the most consistent in the deck for the plays you want to go for. I don't run any synchros in the extra deck if you wanted to try out some. A few just generics, like maybe Psy-Frame Lord Omega might be a good option if you want to go for synchro options in the deck also. But that is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, I run 3 Preparation of Rites. You add 1 level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Then you can add 1 ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. A great way to just, recycle resources from the graveyard and also just to search out cards you need. An easy searcher at that for sure. And I also run 3 pre-preparation of rites. The ritual spell search especially is a handy search to go for. Just having this and preparation of rites in the deck definitely does come in handy, grabbing whatever cards you need for those specific plays in the deck. And for the actual ritual spell for the Vendread rituals, I run 3 Vendread Origin. This card can be used to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You may also tribute monsters from your hand or field, or banish any zombies from your graveyard whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monsters you ritual summon. If the Vendread Slayer you control will be destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So an added protection with this card, but also giving you the graveyard option definitely does come in handy depending on if you're a little short on cards to use for the ritual summon, obviously with the deck. Also having the Vendread Slayer name on the card is an added benefit for sure, because it lists on the pre-preparation of rites for that spell, giving you that ritual add as well with that card. And I also run 3 Vendread Charge. With this one, you send 1 zombie monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Vendread monster from your deck. You can only activate 1 Vendread Charge per turn. So just sending more zombies, especially Mizuki, which I brought up before, with this quick play spell is definitely a big help for an easy special summon of a Vendread monster, which then you can make more use of, giving the added benefit effects for your monsters onto the field. And I also run 2 Vendread Evolution. This card can be used to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, or send 1 Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. The ritual summon monster is destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. You can only activate 1 Vendread Evolution per turn. But the send effect and also just the summon from the graveyard gives you great late game options for your Slayers onto the field to summon out, and getting multiple Slayers out is also an added bonus as well, since ritual monsters obviously aren't limited to the amount you can summon onto the field, but also giving you some more extra deck options with those cards, and evolution just helps to extend your ritual plays with the deck. And I also run the 3 Allure of Darkness. You run a good amount of draw power in this deck, just so you can get to the cards, and a good amount of dark monsters, which you can use for those cards. I don't have Vendread Knights in the deck if you wanted to run any of that card. Kind of limited on the search power with it, but you can still take out some numbers with Allure of Darkness to add some of those numbers for Vendread Knights. You can even adjust the number of Call by the Grave that I run in the deck. If you wanted to mix and match between Allure and Call by the Grave for the Vendread Knights, you can do that just as well. And to finish off these spells, the One Foolish Burial, more graveyard setup for your Vendread effect monsters for this card. Even if you use Evolution and need to set up the ritual in the graveyard, it's another option to go for. And then for the traps, the only trap I'm running in the deck is Vendread Daybreak. If your opponent controls more cards than you do, choose one ritual, summon Vendread monster you control, and destroy all cards on the field except the chosen. It cannot attack directly while it remains faceable in the field. You can activate one Daybreak per turn, but it's a good way to clear out your opponent's field, and obviously you could just ritual using another monster on the field or get another one out to attack your opponent directly if need be. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 2 Vendread Savior. You need 2 zombie monsters to make this card, which is all of the deck. So very, very easy to summon this Link monster out. Its name becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field, and you can only use each effect of the following Vendread Savior once per turn. You can target one Vendread card in your graveyard, add to your hand, so great recycle power there. And during damage calc, if this card bows an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send one zombie from your deck to the graveyard, and the opponent's monster's attack is lowered equal to the level of the monster sent times 200 until the end of turn. So just another good way to lower down your opponent's cards. It has the search power, which is really good also. Also counting as Slayer is another added bonus for sure for your cards, and just being an easy Link monster to summon out, needing just 2 zombie monsters for the deck. And I also run 2 Wee Witch's Apprentice, just once again dark, and being able to power up our Slayer, which only has 2400 attack, to get and combat some other cards in the field especially. And then for some more generic links, just 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Security Dragon, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Topologic Trisbana, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Boral Load, and 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon. And then for the Exceed monsters, since obviously our main go-to guy is the card we'll have on the field most of the time, I run 3 Exceed monsters, 1 Gauntlet Launcher, 1 Utopia Beyond, and 1 Photon Strike Bouncer. You have these options to go for when, let's say, you have the 2 on the field and you just need some other extra deck plays to go for. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.